Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Veda. Today's video, we're just going to be talking about some of the horror books that I've personally read that are about some of my legitimate worst fears ever. So if you have any recommendations that are either similar to a book that I talk about or that have that certain thing in them, then let me know in the comments below, because I need more books in my life like these ones. So let's just jump right in. First off, I want to say that I tend to really like eco horror. I'm not really afraid of like nature in that kind of way. So I don't have any to recommend you because I'm only using my real life fears. So this is very subjective. And I might grab a book that you've read that you're like, oh, it wasn't that scary, or that's not a real fear to have. But you know what? It's very, very subjective, and I do have real life fears. So if you have any recommendations for eco horror, let me know. Let's get into this. I am not counting my novellas. I'm not using any novellas for this recommendation style video. So the first thing is Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. There's no place like home. Here's the thing. Any motherhood type of horror novel is for me, and Nestlings is that for the first half. But then the second half, it kind of goes a different direction, but I can't tell you because spoilers. But if you know, then you know. That typical thing that happens a little bit over halfway through this book is not usually my typical, like, love. I don't usually like it, but I think that the postpartum representation in here just really, like, sold me. Then I have Dead Lake by Darcy Coates. This is a stalker type of horror. Like, you're getting this girl, this woman, Sam, is at this isolated cabin to work on writing, I believe, and she starts getting stalked and creepy things start happening. Also, if you like Dead Lake, try The Last Word by Taylor Adams. These are very much in the similar vein, but Dead Lake is a lot shorter, whereas The Last Word is like a full-length novel. There's actually other short stories in here, but oh my god, like, stalker, such real life problems, like the dread and the panic and the paranoia that I felt reading these was incredible. Then Survival. This is Hunted by Darcy Coates. Honestly, I just really enjoy all of Darcy Coates' contemporary things. Okay, most of Darcy Coates' contemporary things that have a real explanation. I can't really tell you the thing that's in here that's super duper scary, because I do feel like that is actually a very big spoiler. But just know, like, survival in the wilderness because you went missing. If you want to know what I think is a major spoiler, but you actually want to know the fear that I have from this book, because of this book, I don't think I had this fear before this book, then leave it in the comments and I will reply. Then we have They Never Learn by Lane Fargo and For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. These are both serial killer female rage stories. Serial killers, I'm obsessed with them, but also, like, they terrify me. Then Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I'm not afraid of water, but I'm very afraid of the unknown. And there's, like, an absorbent amount of the water on Earth that has never been explored. I think it's, like, 93% or maybe higher. I don't know off the top of my head. And this, Into the Drowning Deep, there's killer mermaids. And I know that everyone's gonna say, ooh, mermaids are made up. But you don't know that for sure. 100% you don't know. I don't know. But now I've always been terrified of the unknown, which really is harsh because, like, the unknown could be wonderful. But I also have this, like, overthinking mind where I'm just like, oh my God. So I fear the unknown, but then my mind makes up these scenarios in my head that are probably never going to happen, or most definitely won't happen the way that my brain made them up. And then when it happens, I'm like, oh, okay, why did I fear the unknown? It wasn't that bad. But I always fear the unknown. So this kind of made me fear the unknown even more. Near the Bone by Christina Henry. Here's the thing. At the surface, this Christina Henry book is a creature feature to the max. It's dreadful. It's paranoia to the extreme. It's getting under your skin, and it's isolated, and it's terrifying. However, there is one big thing. Yeah. One very big thing that you don't find out till towards the end. It's like the twist, which in my book made the book just come. Do you see what I did there? I didn't even mean to. In my book, it made the whole thing just come together perfectly. But that is legitimately my worst fear. Here's the thing, though. I'm super lucky. I found my love of my life in high school, and he stuck with me forever and ever and ever and ever. So I don't... It's a legitimate fear with what I've been through in the past, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen to me, knock on wood. If you want to know what that thing is, again, it's a major spoiler, but just ask me in the comments below and I'll let you know. We have We Spread by Anne Reed, and this follows Grandma Penny. I don't think she's really a grandma, but I call her Grandma Penny because I just felt her, like, I felt her soul. She became Grandma Penny the day that I read this book. Grandma Penny is getting older. And the entire book you're wondering, because she just moved into this not a nursing home, like a retirement home. And you're wondering if the retirement home is bad and the people there are mean. Like, the caretakers of the estate are just not like crazy, or if Penny, precious Grandma Penny, is old and has dementia, potentially, or senile. This was a ride. If you like horror novels that are fueled by emotions, then please read We Spread by Ian Reid. I personally don't have a huge fear of getting old, but I know that it's a very common fear. For me, I was really sick as a kid, and the doctors said that I wouldn't see 8 years old. And then I saw 8 years old, and they said, okay, well, she's doing all right, but chances are she'll be gone before she's 10. Well, I made it to 10. Now I'm 33, and I'm thriving. So I personally don't have a fear of getting older. I love getting older. I love being like, yeah, it's my 33rd birthday. Heck yeah, I turned 40. Because I was the girl that wasn't even supposed to turn 8. Okay, then we have The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. This is my favorite apocalyptic horror novel ever. This might be within my... I should do a top 5 horror novels of all time, but this would definitely be on that list. This is like a home invasion, kind of. I mean, Andrew and Eric are outside, are at this cabin at the end of the world. They're having a family vacation with their daughter, Wynn. And Wynn is approached by this man who's like, oh yeah, trying to befriend her. And then she kind of gets the creeps from him, so she runs in to tell her dads when 4 people from the woods come out and start like pounding on the door, saying that you have to make a decision, and trying to break into this little cabin that was supposed to be like a really fun vacation, and it turned into this horror story. Who isn't afraid of home invasion? I'm also watched an entire series called the Frogger series. If you don't know what a Frogger is, it's someone that has broken into your house and lives there, and you don't know that they're there. Then we have The Butcher and the Wren and The Butcher Game by Elena Arquette. Apparently there's going to be a 3rd one in this series. I'm so excited. But real life serial killers. Like I said, I'm obsessed with them. But I also low-key fear them. Then we have Dearest by Jackie Walters. This is another mama horror. This follows Flora, who's a new mom, and she thinks she can't handle being a mom, so she calls her mother, who she was estranged from, and her mother comes to save the day, and along the way, her creepy things are happening. It's definitely a lot of postpartum in here, and like I said, I love a good mom horror novels. So those are all of my horror novels that play with weird fears that I have. I think you should do a similar video if you're a content creator like me. You should do a similar video where you go through all of your horror novels and pick which ones actually play with legitimate fears that you have. Like I said, there are a couple that are spoilers, so I couldn't really tell you what that fear was. But if you want to know, just ask me in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.